Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news now. Let's dive deep into what's been happening with the Packers lately because, honestly, despite a tough setback in Week 3, there's a lot of optimism, a lot of potential, and yes, some real questions that could shape the team's future for the rest of this season and beyond. The Packers, coming off a promising start, faced their first loss of 2025 against the Cleveland Browns, a game that revealed some cracks, but also highlighted where the team still has room to grow. It's important to understand that even with that defeat, the overall roster remains quite intriguing, especially when you look at the core pieces that have been performing and the areas that need urgent reinforcement. For starters, the wide receiver position, that's been a real talking point among fans and analysts alike. Green Bay has been searching for that true number one receiver to take the pressure off Jordan Love, and while they drafted Matthew Golden in the first round, hoping he would develop into that guy, the early signs haven't yet materialized. Through 3 games, Golden has shown flashes, but consistency remains elusive, and it's clear that Green Bay still needs a proven game-changer on the outside to really elevate their passing game. As of now, the Packers are missing that vertical threat, that player who can stretch defenses and make the big, game-altering plays downfield. Meanwhile, the injuries pile up, and that's been a real challenge for head coach Matt LaFleur. Jayden Reed, who is expected to be a pivotal part of the offense, recently underwent surgeries on his shoulder and foot. LaFleur has been upfront about the fact that Reed will miss a lot of time, but he also expressed optimism about Reed's return at some point during the season. That's a silver lining, but it also underscores the need for the Packers to find alternative options until Reed can get back on the field. Not to forget Christian Watson, who, after tearing his ACL in January, is still in rehab and has yet to see any action in 2025. His absence has definitely affected the team's vertical passing game, and without Watson's explosiveness, the offense looks somewhat limited in its ability to strike deep. Adding to the offensive struggles, the Packers managed to score only 10 points against Cleveland. That's not enough to win consistently in the NFL, especially when your defense is not at its sharpest. It's evident that, beyond depth on the offensive line, the biggest gap right now is that lack of a true playmaker at the receiver position. Someone who can reliably create separation, make contested catches, and turn short gains into big plays. And that's where the conversation about potential trades or signings heats up. And here's where it gets really interesting. There's been a lot of buzz around the idea of Green Bay making a bold move to acquire a top-tier receiver, someone like Tyreek Hill from the Miami Dolphins. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Is that even realistic? Well, it's complicated, but not impossible. A recent trade proposal suggested that Green Bay could try to swing a deal by offering a second or third-round pick in this year's draft, a relatively modest price for a player of Hill's caliber. The idea is that Hill would instantly transform the Packers' offense, giving Jordan Love that deep threat and reliable target he desperately needs. About it, Hill's speed, his ability to take the top off defenses, and his experience as a 5-time All-Pro make him one of the most dangerous receivers in the league. He's someone who can beat coverage, whether on quick slants or long bombs, and that kind of versatility could unlock Green Bay's passing attack in ways they haven't seen in recent years. It's no secret that Love has shown flashes of potential, but he needs weapons, real weapons, if he's going to lead this team deep into the playoffs. Adding Hill could be that game changer, the piece that elevates everything, but of course there are caveats. Hill is currently in the second season of a 3-year, $90 million deal. That's a hefty price tag, especially for a team like Green Bay that's historically cautious with cap management. Plus, Hill is 31 years old, and some league pundits have suggested that he might have lost a step in 2024, the first time in his decade-long career that he didn't make the Pro Bowl or All-Pro as either a receiver or returner. Last season, Hill finished with 81 catches for 959 yards and 6 touchdowns, which is solid, but not quite the explosive numbers he posted in 2023, when he led the league in receiving yards and touchdowns. That dip in production has led some to wonder if he's still the same game-breaker he once was, or if age and wear are starting to catch up. Now, let's talk about the Dolphins because they're in a bit of a tricky spot right now. Miami is 0-3, and there's a lot of speculation that they might be willing to part ways with some key players before the trade deadline. Dan Graziano from ESPN recently pointed out that Hill could be one of the most likely candidates to switch teams. Hill's relationship with Miami has reportedly been strained, especially after a rocky end to the 2024 season and some internal issues that have come to light. Hill was openly dissatisfied with how things went last year, and although the Dolphins didn't move him in the offseason, there's talk of a potential rebuild or at least a reevaluation of their roster. Adding to the complexity is the off-field situation. Hill has recently been under scrutiny due to accusations from his ex-wife regarding domestic violence, which the NFL is investigating. That's a serious issue, and if the league finds him in violation of the personal conduct policy, it could lead to suspension or other disciplinary action. So, Green Bay would need to weigh not only the on-field value, but also the off-field risks. This raises a crucial question for the Packers front office. Are they willing to gamble on a player like Hill, knowing what's at stake? Is this team truly ready to contend for Super Bowl, and does Hill's talent justify the potential off-field and financial issues? Those are tough questions. But if we look at the bigger picture, the answer to whether Green Bay should make such a move is not black and white. The team's current offense needs a spark, a proven playmaker who can change the dynamic on every snap. Hill might be that guy, but the price they'd pay, draft capital, salary, and possible off-field baggage, is significant. Despite the setback against the Browns, the Packers are still in a position where they can dream big. The division is wide open, and with a few strategic moves, they could position themselves as serious contenders come playoff time. Jordan Love at the helm has shown flashes of leadership and talent, but he needs more weapons, more consistency, and a bit of luck. A player like Tyreek Hill, if acquired, could be the piece that pushes them over the edge, that elevates their offense from good to great. Of course, it's not just about acquiring star power. The team also needs to develop their current roster, get healthy, and find ways to improve on defense, which has had its moments but isn't quite at the elite level yet. Still, the focus right now is on that receiver position, on whether Green Bay will pull the trigger and make a bold move that could define their season. As fans, we all want to see our team succeed, and this season feels like it could be one of those defining years. The NFL landscape is always shifting, and the Packers have a chance to make a statement, whether that's through internal development or an aggressive trade. Whatever happens, it's clear that the team is at a crossroads, and the decisions made in the coming weeks will shape their destiny. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news.